Hello, my friends. Welcome to Luna English Podcast. This is Luna. I'm happy you're here today because we're going to talk about something that can truly change your life, and it's much simpler than you think. Many people believe that personal growth means making huge changes, working harder than ever, or completely transforming their lifestyle. But that's not true. Real growth doesn't require a total life overhaul. It happens in small, intentional steps, repeated every single day, and it can start with just one focused hour. Imagine if you dedicated 1 hour a day to becoming a little better, not perfect, just better. That hour could be broken into small pieces, a few minutes in the morning to set the tone for your day, some focused time during the day for one meaningful action, and a gentle evening routine to help you rest deeply. Over time, this simple rhythm builds trust in yourself and shapes a more peaceful, stronger version of who you are. Today, I'll guide you through how to build this kind of daily routine, one that doesn't feel heavy or forced, but calm and kind. Because your routine is more than a plan for your day. It's a reflection of how much you value yourself. And when you build it with love and intention, it becomes a powerful foundation for lasting change. Why do small, consistent actions create more growth than sudden, dramatic changes? Because real transformation doesn't happen in a single moment. It happens through repetition, patience, and gentle discipline. When you try to change everything at once, it's easy to become overwhelmed. You might feel excited at first, but that excitement fades and old habits return. But when you focus on small, manageable actions, you create space for them to become part of who you are. A simple daily routine is powerful because it builds momentum without pressure. 10 quiet minutes in the morning, 20 focused minutes on one meaningful task, 10 minutes at night to rest your mind. It doesn't seem like much, but over weeks and months, those minutes build self-trust. They show you that you can keep promises to yourself. They prove that you are capable of change. And as that trust grows, so does your confidence. You stop needing motivation to act. Action becomes your natural rhythm. This is why 1 hour a day can change everything. It's not about how much you do in one day. It's about what you repeat over many days. The person you become is shaped not by what you do once, but by what you do again and again. Small steps, done with intention, lead to big changes. Why is a morning ritual so important? Because the way you begin your day shapes everything that follows. A calm, intentional morning creates space for clarity, energy, and focus. It's not about doing 100 things before breakfast. It's about choosing 1 or 2 simple actions that ground you. You might sit quietly for a few minutes and breathe. You might write down one intention for the day, one feeling you want to carry with you, or one small goal you want to achieve. You might stretch your body or drink a glass of water slowly, with awareness. These tiny moments are more powerful than they seem. They send a message to your mind. I'm starting this day with care. And that message stays with you. It shapes how you respond to stress. It helps you stay centered when things feel chaotic. It gives your actions direction and meaning. A morning ritual isn't about control or perfection. It's about creating a gentle anchor, a quiet space that reminds you of your purpose before the noise of the world begins. And when you make this a habit, even just 10 minutes, it becomes the first building block of your daily growth. How do you build trust in yourself every day? You do it by creating small, meaningful wins. One of the most powerful parts of a daily routine is choosing one important action and completing it with focus. It doesn't have to be big, it just has to matter. Maybe it's finishing a short reading practice, writing one page, having a focused study session, or making progress on a small project. The The key is to do it intentionally and finish it. Why is this so important? Because each small win becomes evidence. It's proof that you can keep promises to yourself. It's proof that you're capable of change. Over time, this builds deep self-trust, and that trust changes everything. When you believe in your ability to follow through, you stop doubting yourself so much. You feel more confident making plans, setting goals, and trying new things. And this confidence doesn't come from pressure. It comes from repeated experience. One focused win a day is enough. You don't need to achieve 10 goals or be perfect. Just one meaningful step, repeated every day, is how you grow steadily and sustainably. Why does the evening routine matter as much as the morning? Because how you end your day shapes how deeply you rest and how you begin the next day. Many people go to bed with their minds still racing. They scroll, worry, or replay the day in their heads. But rest is not just sleep. True rest means giving your mind a chance to slow down, release the day, and settle. That's what an evening routine is for. It doesn't need to be long. 10 quiet minutes can make a difference. You might write down one thing you're grateful for, or reflect on what went well. You might read a few calming pages, or simply sit without screens and breathe. These small actions tell your body it's time to shift from doing to being. They create a gentle space between the day and the night. And when you practice this regularly, you wake up with more clarity, more energy, and more peace. A soft evening landing isn't a luxury. It's part of how you care for yourself, and it's a vital piece of a simple, powerful daily routine. How can 1 hour a day feel realistic, even in a busy life? By breaking it into small, manageable parts. You don't need to find 60 free minutes all at once. You can divide the hour into pieces that fit naturally into your day. 10 minutes in the morning for stillness and clarity. 20 minutes during the day for one focused win. 10 minutes in the evening for reflection and rest. The specific times don't matter, the intention does. What matters is showing up for yourself, even briefly, every day. And once you make this a habit, it becomes part of your rhythm. You no longer think, I don't have time. Instead, you see that time was always there. It just needed direction. Even on your busiest days, you can protect these small pockets of time. And those minutes will work quietly in the background, building consistency, strengthening self-trust, and moving you forward. The truth is, transformation doesn't need hours and hours. It just needs 1 hour used well. What does your daily routine say about how you see yourself? Everything. The way you spend your time shows how much you value your growth, your peace, and your well-being. When you build a routine that supports you, even in small ways, you're telling yourself, I matter, my growth matters. It's not about being busy or productive all the time. It's about creating space to care for your mind and your future. People often say they don't have time for themselves, but the truth is, we make time for what we believe is important. And you are important. Your growth is worth an hour a day. When you choose to spend time on yourself, gently, consistently, you're strengthening your sense of self-worth. You're showing yourself kindness, and that kindness shapes how you move through the world. A daily routine isn't just a plan. It's a quiet declaration. I am worth the effort. And that belief becomes the foundation for every change that follows. Can you grow without pushing yourself too hard? Absolutely. True growth doesn't come from pressure. It comes from gentle persistence. Many people think they must be strict and intense to improve, but pressure often leads to burnout, not progress. A simple routine works because it's kind. It doesn't demand perfection. It invites you to show up as you are, even on hard days, Some days you'll have energy and focus. Other days you might feel tired or distracted. That's normal. What matters is not doing everything perfectly. It's coming back to the practice again and again. That's how real change happens. Consistency, not intensity, shapes who you become, and when you remove the pressure to be perfect, you create space for joy and peace in the process. You stop seeing growth as a battle, and you start seeing it as an act of self-respect. This shift makes your routine sustainable, something you can do for years, not just weeks. Why is choosing peace more powerful than chasing perfection? Because perfection is a moving target, and it often keeps you stuck. When you believe you must do everything flawlessly, you become afraid to start. You judge yourself for every small mistake. You lose motivation the moment something goes wrong. But when you choose peace, everything changes. Peace means you accept that growth is a journey, not a straight line. It means you value showing up more than doing it perfectly. It means you treat yourself with kindness even when you fall short. This mindset turns your routine into something gentle and supportive instead of strict and punishing. And when your actions come from peace, you're more likely to keep going because you're not fighting against yourself. Remember, growth isn't about doing everything right. It's about doing small things with love again and again. How does a daily routine change who you are? By shaping your identity, one choice at a time. Every time you follow through on your small habits, you're proving something to yourself. You're showing that you are someone who takes care of yourself, someone who keeps promises, someone who grows, even slowly. Over time, these small actions build a new identity, and that identity shapes your behavior. You stop needing to push yourself so hard because your actions feel natural. They're just part of who you are now. This is the quiet power of consistency. It transforms growth from something you try to do into something you simply are. And once that shift happens, change becomes much easier. You're no longer chasing a new version of yourself. You're already becoming them one day at a time. Why is simplicity often more powerful than complexity? Because simple routines are easier to follow, and what you follow consistently creates results. Many people overcomplicate personal growth. They try to build long, detailed plans. But complexity is heavy. It's hard to sustain. Simplicity, on the other hand, is light. It's flexible. It's something you can return to even on difficult days. And because it's simple, you actually do it. And that's what matters most. A 10-minute morning ritual, one focused task, and a soft evening routine. It might seem too easy, but that simplicity is what makes it powerful. It doesn't overwhelm you. It doesn't depend on motivation. It fits into your life naturally. And when something is easy to do, it's also easy to repeat. And repetition is how small habits become lifelong growth. What's the difference between discipline and pressure? Discipline is the quiet commitment to show up, even when you don't feel like it. Pressure is the harsh demand that you must never fail. Gentle discipline is what keeps a simple routine alive. It means you choose to show up every day, even if only for a few minutes. It means you forgive yourself if you miss a day and return the next. It means you stay focused on the process, not just the result. This gentle approach builds resilience. It trains your mind to stay steady without fear or guilt, and that's why it lasts. Harsh discipline might push you forward quickly, but it often leads to burnout. Gentle discipline builds habits that last for years. It turns growth into a natural part of your life, not a punishment, but a gift. Why is reflection an important part of a daily routine? Because it helps you see how far you've come. When you're focused on small daily actions, it's easy to miss the bigger picture. But when you pause to reflect, even briefly, you connect the dots. You notice how your thoughts, energy, and confidence have changed. You recognize that small steps really do add up. Reflection doesn't have to be complicated. It could be a simple question at the end of the day. What did I do today that helped me grow? Or, what's one thing I want to improve tomorrow? These gentle questions build awareness, and awareness makes your routine more powerful. It shows you what's working, what needs adjusting, and how much you've already achieved. And most importantly, it reminds you to celebrate your progress, no matter how small. What if your daily routine was more than just a plan? What if it was an act of love? Every time you choose to spend a few minutes caring for your body, your mind, or your future, you're saying, I matter. You're choosing kindness over neglect. You're choosing peace over chaos. And that choice, repeated every day, changes how you see yourself. It strengthens your sense of worth. It softens the way you speak to yourself. It teaches you that you don't have to earn love by doing everything perfectly. You can give it to yourself right now through small daily actions. A simple routine is one of the most beautiful ways to practice self-love. It's not loud or dramatic, it's quiet, gentle, and powerful, and it reminds you every day that you deserve care and growth. What kind of life could you build with one focused hour a day? More than you might imagine. Over weeks, that hour builds new habits. Over months, it builds confidence. Over years, it builds a new version of you, calmer, stronger, more intentional. This is the quiet truth about change. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about choosing small, peaceful actions and repeating them with love. Your morning ritual grounds you. Your one meaningful win builds trust. Your evening routine restores you, and the space between them becomes a life that feels steady and full of purpose. So start with 1 hour, break it into small moments, fill those moments with kindness and intention, and trust that with time they will shape everything. You don't need to rush, you don't need to be perfect, you just need to begin and keep going, one gentle day at a time.